Where are you? What are you doing in there? Did you think we were going to leave you behind? Not a chance. We're going to Ireland. Come on. And we were off to O'Hare Airport's International Terminal for our Aer Lingus red-eye flight to Dublin. Now, we'd heard that Guinness tastes better in Ireland, so we felt a taste test was in order. But at the airport bar, all they had was canned. Chris did the honors himself of pouring. Then, with the taste firmly in our minds and on our lips, we boarded the plane. Now, no transatlantic flight is complete without a baby and arguing preteen brothers seated nearby, but we found a solution, and our first nip of Irish whiskey. Seven hours later, we touched down in Dublin, arriving at 4:30 a.m. local time. Now, we'd been hearing nightmare stories of massive amounts of lost luggage in Dublin. So before leaving home, we added an AirTag to our checked bag that linked to our smartphones. But miracle, our luggage arrived safe and sound. An express bus whisked us to Houston Station, where we could easily spot the sign atop our hotel. A short walk, and we were at the lovely Ashling Hotel, where Patty and Reuben stowed our baggage until check-in later in the day. It was a gloomy day and raining a bit, but we headed out on foot to find coffee and explore the city. We walked downtown along the north bank of the River Liffey, stopping at the historic Halfpenny Bridge. Built in 1816, it was the only pedestrian bridge across the river until 1999, when the Millennium Bridge was built. As we made our way down to O'Connell Street, the sun came out, and we saw the Spire in all its modern splendor. After exploring O'Connell Street and the surrounding neighborhood, we crossed back over the river. Walking through the grounds of Trinity College, we sadly decided that €18.50 each was a bit much to see the library and 2 pages of the Book of Kells. Walking the loud and busy streets of Dublin, we were glad we'd decided not to drive in the city, and so we were off to find Molly Malone. So this is the bronze statue of Molly Malone in Dublin. Now, there's no proof that Molly Malone actually existed, but this statue has commemorated her forever. Now, there is, however, a tradition that if you touch her, that it will bring you good luck. But apparently you have to touch her chest, her cleavage, her bosom.
They're called boobs, Ed.
Next, we headed down to Grafton Street, passing numerous designer stores, some lovely flower vendors, and the beautiful St. Stephen's Green shopping mall. Just across the street was, you guessed it, St. Stephen's Green. Incredibly beautiful, this 22-acre Victorian park was purchased by Arthur Guinness, grandson of the Guinness founder, from private owners in 1877 in order to restore it and return it to public use. A haven of peace and serenity amid the clamor of the city, it features flower beds, fountains, statues, a very active duck pond, and 2 miles of beautifully tended paths, all for public enjoyment at no cost. Our next destination was Dublin Castle. Built on the foundation of a Viking settlement in the 13th century, it served as the center of British and English rule in the country until Ireland won its independence in 1922, when the castle complex was turned over to the New Republic. It includes state apartments that host official events, a chapel royal, 2 museums, a library, and a conference center, as well as half a dozen official government offices. Don't miss the Dublin Garden at the site of the former Black Pool, for which the city was named. With all this walking and sightseeing, we'd worked up a thirst, so we decided it was time for our first pint on Irish soil. Lo and behold, we stumbled upon the Brazen Head, which claims on its sign to be Ireland's oldest pub, established in 1198. However, this is up for dispute, so be sure to watch our upcoming episode on the Battle of the Oldest Bars in Ireland. But the Brazen Head is a lovely pub with multiple rooms and bars, a beautiful courtyard, quirky decor, and a lively ambiance. We were ready for the second half of our Guinness taste test, so the staff poured us our first official Guinness in Ireland. And there was no comparison. Irish Guinness, properly poured by a trained bartender, wins hands down. And for those of you who are lightweights like me, you can order a glass of Guinness, which will get you a half pint. After a lively conversation with 2 guys from Atlanta in town for a Garth Brooks concert, we got our second wind and made a reservation at Jameson Bow Street Distillery for a tour. An easy walk back across the river, Jameson no longer distills in this location, but uses it for tours, tastings, and maturation of cask whiskies. Hearing about the history of the Jameson family, we discovered that John Jameson, originally a lawyer from Scotland, and his wife Margaret had 16 children. I guess that explains the need for whiskey, although Chris wonders if the whiskey is partly the cause of such a large family. We'll never know. We learned about the distilling, malting, and maturation processes. Then we headed in for a tasting.
There's 2 more seats there.
Oh, we'll take them. Thanks. Our tour guide was informative, fun, and very gracious. We learned that the Jameson motto, Sine metu, means without fear. So we sampled 3 varieties without fear.
The second time you taste, I want you to have a sip and I want you to hold it for about 3 seconds. Hold it about 3 seconds. No?
Missed that first one.
No. So have a sip, hold it for 3 seconds, and let's see, does that change? Does that bring more of a sweet or a spice this time?
Spice.
Yeah, see that with the heat, that with the spice? Yeah, it's about 3 hours and change. Yeah. Yeah.
Afterwards, we retired to JJ's, the in-house bar, for some great conversation with a brother and sister from Portugal that we met. And we enjoyed our full-size Jameson drinks. Chris is on the rocks, and mine with ginger ale and lime. I think I found a new favorite cocktail. We walked back to the Ashling Hotel, checked in, and got settled in our lovely room. We'd clocked about 9 miles walking that day, so we were due a rest after a long but fulfilling first day in Dublin. Our room featured a king-size bed, a flat-screen TV, tea and coffee service with biscuits, a safe, and lovely furnishings. Nighty-night.